Well, we have found ourselves in Dayton, Ohio. Why? Because another inmate has died in custody. That's where we're at right this minute. And this is Christian Black, and we're going to dig into his story just a little bit and see what's going on with it. Family of inmate who died in jail custody shares video of his restraint, demands justice. And this is from May 5th. Dayton, Ohio. The lawyers representing the family of Christian Black, an inmate who died in custody at Montgomery County Jail, shared video from inside the jail showing his restraint. His restraint, yes. A link to the full news conference can be found here, and it's a lengthy one. We're not going to go through all that right now. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I'd like to note that 78% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. Anyway, this is where we're at. During the news conference, the lawyers representing his family called for the 10 employees involved in his restraint to be indicted and convicted. They called Black's death murder. They also called for accountability and changes at the jail itself, saying the employees involved did not follow proper procedures and policies, which caused his death. The Montgomery County coroner ruled last week that Black died from mechanical and positional asphyxia, and the manner of death was ruled as a homicide. Now, mechanical and positional asphyxia. Positional, I think we understand how that works. Based on your position, a death has resulted. Mechanical is just physical factors interfered with the normal breathing process. Okay? So you're breathing normally and somebody, I don't know, sits on your chest, kneels on your chest. That creates a loss of consciousness and a lack of oxygen, resulting in typically death. Asphyxia, that's just some fancy medical term that they've thrown out there. It's, to break it down, it's a lack of, when you have a lack of oxygen, an excess of carbon dioxide builds up in the body, usually caused by the fact that you are not breathing, and that causes unconsciousness. Does that make sense? That's where we're at with this right now. The news conference started with one of the family's lawyers commenting on the jail's history. In 2023, there were 7 deaths in the jail, and the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections sent a letter to the Montgomery County Jail Coalition of its findings after investigating the deaths. Also, who knew there was 7 deaths in 2023? Also, who knew this death took place in March, and we're just finding out about it in May? As we know, the Montgomery County Jail has a history of death incidents. There's a pattern of sickness, a failure of responsibility within the walls of the Montgomery County Jail. Michael Wright, an attorney for the Wright and Schultz LLC, said, "What are we doing about this jail? This is to the point of ridiculousness. They need to change culture. They need to change administration. They need to change what's happening in this jail." Both of Black's parents spoke after the video was played. It never should have happened, but for me, it's now, every time I see the video, it's knowing that I'm going to see him take his last breath. Again, Misty Black, Christian's mother, said, "No sense of urgency, no immediate attention to save him when he could have been saved," Kenya Black, Christian's father, said. The family lawyer said they estimated he was in a chair approximately 9 minutes before being taken out and before any life-saving measures were performed. Wright said they want policy change for the jail. Policy change isn't going to matter if there's no accountability for what they're doing. They had 7 deaths in 2023. Montgomery County Sheriff Rob Streck released a statement Monday afternoon in response to the news conference. "I've been asked to respond to today's press conference held by the attorneys representing Christian Black's family. As previously stated, I met with Christian's family last week and provided them with a flash drive containing all available video footage of his time at the jail, including 2 use-of-force incidents. While I did not attend the press conference, I understand the attorneys indicated that they are still waiting for body-worn camera footage. The footage was included on the original flash drive provided to the family. However, given the large volume of content, it may have been difficult to locate. To ensure clarity, we created a separate copy containing just body-worn camera videos and provided it directly to the attorneys. Throughout this tragic situation, I have made every effort to be transparent with Christian's family and the citizens of Montgomery County. while also ensuring that nothing I do interferes with the independent investigation I requested. As that investigation moves forward, I will refrain from offering any public commentary to avoid jeopardizing the integrity of the process. Last week, Sheriff Streck announced the 10 employees involved in Christian's restraint were put on paid administrative leave. Paid administrative leave. 7 deaths in 2023, and they get a paid vacation. Do you think they care? They do not. And employees, deputies, corrections officers. It was the jail. I'm guessing jailers, deputies. They act like it's just some random. No, it's government. And I'm thinking there was one nurse. Although it's hard to tell what her job actually was, she shows up near the end. The sheriff went on to say he expressed his deepest condolences to Christian's family and assured them that the sheriff's office will continue to fully cooperate with all independent investigations. He also promised that once the criminal investigations are complete, there will be a thorough internal review and investigation to assure accountability and transparency. 7 deaths in 2023. What was the result of those? The Dayton Police Department is the agency conducting the investigations. Of course they are. They're going to investigate themselves. The lawyer's family were asked if they believed that was the correct agency to be holding an investigation. Absolutely not. I think the proper place for it to have gone would have been the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. That's a statewide agency. They're professionals. They go all over the state and investigate these things, and they don't have necessarily the close tie that you would see with the Dayton Police Department. Anthony Pearson, an attorney from Pearson LLC, said, yes, the police department, sheriff's department, they're all in the same, So let's go to, this is CCTV, I guess, from, I'm not sure who this is narrating it. Anyway, this is a CCTV footage that showed up.
So we'll acknowledge at this point, you can see in the video, Christian's having a crisis, and we'll recognize that the law enforcement does have to get in there and find a way to keep him from harming himself, but our issue begins when they...
What they could do is just leave him alone, and he will tire himself out. Keep an eye on him. There's people, you've seen him peek out the door. There's people in here that can look over. Usually, if they're not getting attention, they'll tire themselves out. Now, if they really think this is a mental health crisis he's going through, why do they not have mental health professionals there? Instead, they got a bunch of tattooed up fat damn cops standing around that's about to kill him.
They go into that particular cell, and they ultimately make a number of errors and decisions that amount to what we believe to be deliberate indifference and unlawful.
Sleeve tattoos, bald, fat. I'm just saying, can we have some fucking standards? And can we shave? No, he probably too damn fat to pick the fucking razor up. Tires himself out.
Use of force, but I'll let the video speak for itself. But we wanted to make sure we were being transparent with respect to what occurred before the interaction with the correctional officers.
So instead of leaving him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 9. I don't know how many total were there. There was at least 9. I'm thinking there was more than that by the time they all got in there for I don't know how many minutes. And I do know they tased him and they pepper sprayed him, and then they put a mask on him. If you've ever been tased, if you haven't been through the training, you probably haven't. Tasing sucks. Being sprayed sucks. And you don't want to wipe your face because you're just going to aggravate the situation. You want to shake your head, walk around, keep your eyes closed, let it dry, and then bend over, take a water hose, spray your face, keep your eyes closed, because at some point you got to get that shit off. What do they do to him? They tase him, they spray him, and then they put a mask on him. Like, that's going to help anything.
We believe that earlier in his admission to the jail, there were some interactions between he and other correctional officers and other individuals who may have contributed to his mind state. But we're still investigating that particular aspect, but there is some evidence to support his mental status at the time that they come into that cell.
They are their full weight on top of this man. How many of them should have known this, I don't know, might kill him? My guess would be they should all know that.
As you all know, the sheriff's office suspended, put 10 officers on administrative paid leave. You can count, I think, 9 officers in this particular video, but there's a total of 10 that are involved as well. And I want you guys to pay attention once we change viewpoints. We believe there's a nurse from NAF Care which provides the medical care for inmates that are in the jail. Pay attention to her conduct and how indifferent she is with respect to what's going on with Christian in this video once we change the vantage point. After they put him in the chair. And note the taser note is still in his stomach at the time all this is occurring. So they tased him and pepper sprayed him in the cell.
Also, more knees, more weight, more sitting on him and his chest.
And our understanding is this, as you can see from the description of this video, it's the post-book mental health area, room 141. So this is where he would have been placed after the prior incident early in the morning.
You can see he's still talking.
Is this right here? This little chokehold right here? Mr. Sleeve Tattoo here? No, stop. Mr. Stripes here and Stripes here, they're supposed to be the smart ones. Maybe he can go find some more fucking donuts. Maybe he'll be in prison. Right there. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, that's one of them. It's the gang.
And as you're watching this video, I want you to pay attention to the coroner's findings that the positional asphyxiation is what ultimately caused Christian's death.
Not what the coroner said. See, he's trying to take blame from the mechanical asphyxiation. The ones that their weight on him contributed to his death. He's saying that the coroner ultimately said positional, which means based on the position you're in. That is incorrect. The coroner said last week that Black died from mechanical and positional asphyxia. The manner of death ruled was homicide. So no. You can't say, well, that one's my buddy, so I got to take the heat off him. No, mechanical and positional. Based on his position and the mechanics of the dumbasses putting their weight on him led to his death.
You can see by the pressure that these officers are putting on him, my understanding is that's going to make it almost impossible for him to breathe. In addition to the spit mask and the way that they're holding his neck and his face leading up to this point. So that's the reason for the coroner's findings of homicide by positional asphyxia.
No, positional and mechanical. So whomever's doing the yapping can stop and go back and read the report. Mechanical asphyxia. Physical factors interfere with breathing. Mechanical and positional. So, little Mr. Yapper needs to get it straight. And they're going to switch over to the next CCTV footage right here.
I'm going to change camera vantage points. To keep in mind, these are all simultaneous. What's occurring with the timeline you just viewed.
And that sniffing is on their end, not my end. So don't want to hear that whining.
Now, at this point, Christian unfortunately seems to be unresponsive.
Yeah, he's dead at this point.
This one right here. She should have stopped all this and went over and aided his whatever issues were.
His head is moving up and pulled back because they have his head strapped. Yeah, he didn't have any control. He's not alive at this point.
And based on her training and experience, she should know that. But no, let's just stand there and yap. And I want to get your story straight so we can keep everybody out of trouble. No. Seven deaths since 2023. In 2023. So how many more do we not know about? That's what I was saying. Don't think Robert Brooks
that you see on the video is one of the NAF care nurses.
was an isolated incident.
Jail policy is typically that you have to have a medical professional or staff around at the time that you place somebody in the restraint chair. Up to this point, she was uninvolved in this particular interaction, which we believe potentially is a violation of her medical duty to protect Christian as well. this point, nobody's begun any life-saving medical measures at this point. Nobody's rendered
Just
any.
pulled out the taser.
Not even the trained one.
Nobody's rendered any
Well,
emergent medical.
not even the most trained one. These should all know, based on their training and experience, what they're seeing, they should be rendering aid.
Aid at this point. Amazingly, this nurse comes back, and rather than start life-saving measures, she simply takes his blood pressure.
And they realized some shit went down, so they take the mask off.
She's got the blood pressure cuff. This is the decision she makes, is to take his blood pressure.
She gotta make it like she's doing something.
Not try to revive him. And those of us who handle these cases know that.
And then the
time is
other
of
one's
the
just walking
essence.
off.
When individuals are not getting oxygen to the brain, the longer this goes, the less likely it is to salvage that person and save their lives.
Yeah, they're not saving him. Sorry.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know who. We don't know her identity yet. We know it looks like she's affiliated with NAFCare, but we don't know her actual position.
I hope Mid-State and Marcy Corrections is running through their head the whole time they're doing that.
There's another nurse that comes in later, who we believe to be a nurse.
Now she's running off. Holy shit, he's dead. You think? They've already decided they're done.
And this isn't easy for
What
us
was
to
that
show.
one? This looks like some
We think
type of
it's
medical
important
something.
that the community know what happened.
He
to
just gonna
Christian,
stand around and do nothing too?
and we're not trying to hide anything.
You're gonna do take a
She said this
pulse?
isn't easy for the family to look at this video and see what happened to him.
Yes. Let's not get him on the ground. We can maybe do something for him. Too late. I know, I just want to wait until it passes through.
Now, this is the first time you've seen life-saving aid.
Now that it's too late and nothing can be done,
If that's what you
let's
would
make
call
it look
So
like we're trying to
just
do
for
something.
the
They're
point
not.
of the timeline.
This one should have called this shit a long time ago. Probably been too late. Anyway, she should have. They all have to go to prison.
They enter his cell at 9:26:01. It's not till 9:39 that he's taken out of the chair. So 13 minutes.
Robert, did you time how long he was in the chair before they took him
Yeah,
back
he
out?
got in the chair about 9:30, 15, so he's in the chair for about 9 minutes before they take him out.
And
And clearly he's unresponsive. And
after the first 2 or 3 minutes in the chair, you appeared to be unresponsive. So
Yeah.
at least
He appeared to be
6 minutes in your
unresponsive
mind
before he got to this
that he
point.
was clearly unresponsive before they took him out.
Too long. Long enough for them to understand that they should have administered some life-saving measures before that point, and they didn't. And candidly, I think they didn't because they didn't value humanity.
And I think this is the one that we initially saw when they were by the cell when she stepped out that door.
Again,
anyway, that's where we're at with that one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. How many people are going to die in police custody? No, not necessarily. This isn't police. Same shit, different day. Same thought. Government custody. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 78% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Got your phone in your hand, your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I'm out.